Okay, so I'm trying to decide whether or not to ask the boy next door out for months and months now. I think about it quite a lot, but I never do because I never want to make him feel um, predated on. I don't want him to feel stressed out by highly predatory, confident woman, which I used to be before I became more hesitant. And all my frames were freezing regarding CIA and Pakistan and the polio vaccine blowback in New Yorker magazine, and kind of annoyed with CIA director, acting director Morell's comments about we will never know if torture is the right thing or not. He's like, we will never know. This sort of existentialism regarding torture. And this was in his comments regarding Zero Dark 30. So I think I should ask that boy out. I'm just afraid he'll say no. Then I'll be like, oh, like my self-esteem will get all crushed and everything. I'll be like, ooh, I'm not cute enough for him. But there's a part of me that doesn't want to ask him out because there's another part of me that's in love with Keith Fink, for instance, or even like Barry Goldberg. Like Barry Goldberg, I was like, you're mine, straight up. And like when I'm super that confident, that's because something's going right. Whereas if I'm like sort of have a crush on you but don't really ask you out, it's like a sort of crush. A sort of crush is totally different than a real deal crush. Like Peter was like, no stopping me. I had to talk to that guy. Peter. But I like this one. But the other funny thing is that he looks just like my grandfather. And I'm not sure what kind of bit of a pickup line that is. It's like, hey, you look like my grandfather did in 1935. Do you want to go out? And then I feel like I have too much to worry about in my life, including my headaches and my pain in my jaw, and whether or not my financial aid is coming through from the nebulous socialist in denial America that wants to give me more money. And I think John Kerry will do a fine job. I really wonder if his father really worked in the foreign service, whatever that means. I'm like, yeah, right. And then also, I've been pondering this Wheeler man who ended up in a landfill. I think that would be like my memoirs titles. It would be like, how brain garbage, how not to end up in a landfill. Um, Firstly, have no, never be controversial. There was a defender here in Portland, Nancy Bergeson, who was strangled to death. I don't like strangulation as a form of death because I already experienced it and I survived it. He decided to stop before the fatality came. So strangulation is just something I'd rather not. But in a way, I think it would possibly be nicer than being crushed to death by some garbage machine. Wheeler, and he was involved in the biological weapons testing that was causing all the birds to die all over Arkansas in 2010 when I was like, get me out of America. I had enough money to go, and I was like, bye, see you guys, have a nice time with your BP oil spill. So, all the fish in the Chesapeake nice out here in Oregon, though. I highly recommend everybody on the East Coast move to the West Coast, and not California, because California is too messed up. And sadly, I lost my friend. I thought I had a friend, and then I lost him. So that's tragic. So I'm looking for another friend who will be suitable for someone like me. Which is why I want to ask out the grocery store boy. Maybe I'll meet another boy. Or maybe I will only shop and then I can look at the people who are in shops. I think that's this twisted thing about America, is that we don't have social things per se, we just have buying events where it's like capitalism is our social world and capitalism is our culture. So we don't have cultural events that are culturally centric around culture, like the Kulturhuset concept. We have more like shopping malls where people might kill you, but they might also like take a lot of your money. And if all goes well, I'll be taking dance classes if I get my financial aid, which I think my grandparents will be very proud of that, because they sent me to dance classes when I was 3. And it's very special. It's very lucky if one gets to go to dance classes. So if I do get to, I will consider it very lucky indeed. I always wanted to be a dancer, so it's just like late. But better late than never. Oh, and the CIA Archives, the Film Archives YouTube channel, fantastic. I watched the Body Search one. I was watching a very interesting one on apartheid, and there was a very interesting article again on like, Wall Street Journal saying US CIA helped put Mandela in prison, and I'm like, no, please say it's not so, because they seem very anti-apartheid from this film, very anti-apartheid, and I was quite proud that they were so progressive in the 1950s. And then, these wonderful women Congress persons speaking about the Equal Rights Amendment and inequality for women's Social Security pension. And the body cavity search one was great because it was like he got seduced, he blew his cover, she turned him into the police, they found his secret microfilm thing which he had attached to his foot, and it was still less invasive than the search that the Texas state troopers just did on these women who were having to sue them. Really disgusting.